Good morning, one and all. We would like to welcome you formally to the SOLIDWORKS Electrical What's New webinar. Let's wait for 5 minutes for the attendees to join. Meanwhile, if any of you are able to see the polls, just you can start off by answering it. It's good to see some votes are already done. Make sure all of you are voting for the polls. For any new joiners, good morning and welcome. So we have a poll question that is posed for all of you. So the reason why we have this poll request is so that we'll be able to get a gauge on what you're mostly interested in. So the first question we have here is which stage of electrical design do you spend the most time on? So I see most of the votes are towards schematic creation. That's a great start because that's where we'll be starting off our webinar with. Meanwhile, the second poll I'll just be posing now. So I hope you're able to see. The question reads, do you currently integrate schematic data with 3D routing in SOLIDWORKS? This is one of the most, questioned integration all over the industry. So how to integrate schematic and 3D, and do you do it, or if you're interested in doing it, or if there is no integration, you can let us know. I'm very excited to see that there are people who are planning to start. So the solution that we'll be showcasing today would be including the 3D as well. That's great. So good morning once again to everyone. So we'll be starting off with our webinar for today. So what's new in SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2026? Okay, so we know that whenever we are starting with electrical design, there will be line diagrams, schematics, 2D general arrangement layout, 3D design, routing, reports, all of this that's going to come across in this particular webinar we'll be discussing. So I'm Shrigandha and I've been working with Beacon for about 5 years now, and I take care of the electrical suite of products. So today we'll be identifying our agenda first. So you can see a brief history of electrical. So why is that is, I just want to start off with a little bit of nostalgia. And then we will look at the vintage electrical design. So how they used to do it before. And then we'll move on to what SOLIDWORKS has brought into the industry as of now. And then what we have new features in SOLIDWORKS Electrical 2D and 3D live session we will be looking into. And then we'll come back, whatever we saw in the live session, we'll be seeing what's new benefits of those. And then we will see the project plan for beginners, anyone who's planning to start, like we have seen in the poll. So anyone who's planning to start 2D, 3D integration, only 2D, so how to start off with. And with SOLIDWORKS Electrical, what else can be done apart from what I showcased today? So all of that we will be looking into today. Now, coming to the brief history of electricity. So you can see the different changes that has been undergone all over throughout the history of our electrical industry. So the father of electricity, Michael Faraday, he found the electrical magnetic field. And then you can see Thales of Miletus, he is known as the first researcher into electricity. These are some you can say like the founding fathers of electrical. So in our industry, these people are big shots, we can say. So Alessandro Volta, he came up with the battery. So we have a lot of industry related history or physicians that are available here on the screen. So why I'm starting off with a little bit of nostalgia is this is where we started off. Our industry started off here. Okay, so Benjamin Franklin, with his kite lightning experiment, he was able to find out a lot about electricity. So with all of these findings, we were able to develop our industry of electrical, where we were able to start off designs of electrical circuits. And you can see here, vintage electrical designs, this is what they used to look like. So on the top corner, you can see how we used to, spread out the huge pages and then design the circuits exactly like how they would come across in, panels or form boards, anything like that. So you can see handwritten data, sometimes legible, sometimes illegible, we don't know. So in that case, that's when SolidWorks has come up with their solution of SolidWorks Electrical to avoid manual, manual entries and manual making of circuits and designing of circuits. So instead, we use a computer-aided design. Okay. So in SolidWorks Electrical, representations that are available for one single component, you can see there are 4 representations. So if I choose a contactor, that is a component, so I will be able to represent single line diagram way, line schematic kind of way, 3D representation, and a general arrangement representation. So all of these possibilities are available under SolidWorks Electrical. Now let's start and take a look at our live demo scenario with our 2D. Okay, so we'll see what is new in our 2D. Okay, so this is the interface for SolidWorks Electrical 2D. This is a separate software apart from SolidWorks CAD, and you can see we have a project readily available for this webinar. We'll start off with the first page. This is what the layout would look like. You can see SolidWorks Electrical logo has been here along with the project information. The book, and you can see here the book information is available. If book is available, it will have its own set of pages, own set of folders and files. So everything can be managed in a different type of folder structure depending on your requirement here. And not only that, you can also notice some title block data, or you can say like a custom information. So what is this? We can see our DS data here that is available, and what's the contract number, any user related data that you want to show along with revision, and the page number is available here. So these are some default representations that are available in this title block. It can be customizable as well. So we will be able to customize it according to your needs. So we'll look at the second type of page that is available in SolidWorks Electrical. You can see here drawing list. So here we will be able to see the total number of pages that are available in the project. So each project will have its own description, function, location, revision, date created. So all that information is going to be available. And here we can look at the description and actually navigate to that particular page. Now, if I want to move into some particular page, so if I have seen that this particular representation, it has to have some update, and I can just update it, refresh it, and then I want to go to page number 3. I'll just double click the page number 3, and this particular page will open up. So this is a pre-made circuit that is already existing. In this, you can see there are a lot of connectors and the wires connecting to them. So we'll come to how it has been done. So we have our schematic, library for such symbols, where if I go to insert symbol, you can see under buttons and switches, we have a lot of readily available symbols. And let's say if you do choose a symbol and that is not close to what you have envisioned or what you have on your expected data, then you can customize it according to your need. Or if you have a DWG format of the same symbol file, it can be imported into this library. So these are the different ways of how you can utilize the particular library for symbols. Now these symbols are circuit symbols. If you want line diagram symbols, there is a separate library for those as well. You can see converters, inverters, contacts, electronic components, fuse disconnectors. So different electrical industry related classifications are available. You can even create your own classification as well manually. Or if you are not aware which classification it belongs to, So we can use the remove filter. So filters option, that is as equal to how we have Amazon, Flipkart filters, same way we have technical filters here. So in the title, if I just search for motor, so as I'm searching MOTO, by then you can see it has already shown some particular motor symbols as well. So like that, we have the functionality to add whatever we want to add here. Now, in case of connectors, so if we come back here and go to connectors, we have different types of connectors already available. If a single type of connector you want to work with, so those types are also available here. If you want, you can create your own as well, like discussed. Now here, what we want to do is we want to insert a dynamic connector, because with a static connector, you can see a connection points are going to be in a consecutive manner. But what if I don't want to do that? I want a dynamic connector where I can just drop it according to whatever the input I want to showcase. So in that case, we have insert connector option where we will be able to select some existing data that is already available. Now P2 is the connector that I want to place. So P1 I want to place. So P1 I'll have to search for it here, or if it is already existing, you can just go and add the P1 connector. Okay. So here we want to select the P2 itself. So I'll select the P2 and you can see it is already inserted. So this is something that we have already placed. So the software is identifying and it is mentioning that the P2 connector is already placed. So in that case, I just want to go and I want to add a P1 connector. But before that, I know that the connector should have some manufacturing part. So first we will try to import that manufacturing part into our library, and then we will try to place our symbol over here so that there is no open-ended wires connected here. So if I have to import some library components into my library, so under the library, we have manufacturing part library where we will be able to import a particular Excel file. Okay, so you can create the Excel file from scratch. For this webinar purpose, we have imported a ready-made file that is already existing. Now to go and search for the file, you have the option to go and search for it in the Explorer of the Windows. And you can also go and edit if any changes are supposed to be made before it is imported into the library. As you can see, the reference number, data, connector, class, library, you can see library, it is mentioned here. So it will manually add that library data later. Apart from that, you can see optional data like translatable data. And then we have a few of the circuit type information as well, along with the terminal marks. Okay, so everything is already available here because of manually entering and keeping it, or if in case it is already available, you can go for that. So now what we have here is different types of separators that are available. So one line per reference row format I need. Circuit separator should be a colon and the terminal separator should be a semicolon. So if I try to simulate this, you can see it is going to publish all the three components like this, and it is now manufacturing parts are imported. It can be imported. So now it can be imported. Now if I just go to filters and if I just look at the particular library, so if we want, we can just go and check. So if it is not yet available, we'll have to import again. So in case it is already available, for example, here. So it is already available in this particular library. Now, in case if I want to check some other library, you can go for that option. Okay. Now, import Excel file. In this, you can go and choose every existing data here. Okay. So now if I go for semicolon here and a colon here, and simulate, so you can see where it is not going to be importing. So we have a specific property in which it is going to be available. So we have to do it in that particular manner. Okay. Now simulate and check this is available. We'll import it. And once it is imported, you can see it has been imported. It will let us know. Now again, I'll go back to this particular library. Earlier it was blank. Now it is populated with our information that we have placed. And in these each connectors, we can go and look at the properties of connectors. They have reference number, manufacturer, class, library. If you remember, description was available along with that. If you want some translatable data, that is also available here. You can see here. Now circuits, you can see it is available like this. So these are readily available. It is already published in the library now. So now we can go ahead with adding the P1 connector by itself. Okay. So now we come back to our schematic design. We want to insert a connector. We want to go for selecting an existing connector. So now in this, I want to place, or I want to create my own P1 connector. So in order to do that, so we will be able to do that with the help of this. So here we have the option to just add these data. Okay. So now if I just go to P2 connector, so it is available here like this, and we will be able to add it. Now let's say I want to insert a new connector itself. So we will name it as P1. Now, before that, we have to choose our library components, right? Because that is what we have inserted here. So in that case, automatic refresh, and we can choose this and we can add it available like this. So now if I select this, you can notice that all the aux female pins are available for usage, and I can just select that. Once I select that, it is going to ask for a particular format in which it has to be inserted, either using a symbol, or we can select a configuration that is already existing. So if I have a particular set of settings that I want this symbol to follow, so if I select that particular data, you can see this is how the symbol will be available. Now you can see it is showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now what we want to do is we want to uncheck a few pins. So in that case, we can just go here. We have a new function here where we will be able to expand this particular window and choose this particular set of connectors which we don't want to showcase. So if we don't want to showcase something, we can show that as well. So right now I want to uncheck that's 5 and 6 and just show it here. So now original orientation, you can just go for it. So this is what it will look like. So we'll just place it like this. Now you can see the leftover or the remaining connector, the points that are available, it is representing. But in our case, we don't want to place it here currently. So we can cancel the command and we can only retain what we wanted like this. So immediately we were able to place this, and not only that, we can go here and we will be able to add the terminals for this. So if I select this particular terminal, and if I want to associate it with some particular manufacturing part, so I can do that with the help of this particular data. So we have an associate option so that we will be able to associate any accessory with the base manufacturing part, as you can see here. Okay, so if I want a base manufacturing part, if it is available here, I can go and I can activate it and I can associate it with the accessory. So in order to do that, we will be able to select the particular terminal. We'll be able to select this particular component. Just a second. And we have associate accessory. So you can use such things and we will be able to do it. Now, if you want to edit any terminals, that as usual, as we know, we can go and do the same. So any disassociate that we want, we can do that as well. Okay. So now what I want to showcase here is we have placed this particular P2 component. Now I want to place it as, let's say, for example, if I just look at this, it has taken as particular X1. So I want to name it as P1. I can do the rename directly like this. And once I've taken it like this, it will automatically be available somewhere in the connector list like this. And I can just say go to, and it will zoom into that. No matter where it is, it will go and zoom into this particular data. Now we have placed this particular connector, and I want to place a connection label next to it. So I can go for a direct insert of a connection label for a component, but right now it is a dynamic connector because we have chosen only a few inputs. So in that case, we can choose this and we can choose the P1. So let me just select it, and you can see here we can place it like this. Once we place it, it's going to show this particular data where you have terminal data, destination data, wire mark, length, wire termination. So all of this information related to this component will be available here. So with the help of all of this, we were able to identify that accessories can be added to the manufacturing parts and to the terminals. So we don't have to model it, we don't have to model that particular symbol. We can just add the accessory as a manufacturing part and we will be able to utilize this. So without manufacturing part, SolidWorks Electrical does not work, because the SolidWorks mechanical integration, whatever we do, it is through the manufacturing part. So every component in here should have some manufacturing part attached to it. You can see here. So like this. Okay. So you can see here some associates have already been done. So this is what it will look like. So suppose I don't want to associate, I can go for disassociate as well. Okay. So now we can, again, if you want to insert a connection label for P2. So we can choose P2 and we can draw the particular table like this. So this allows us to understand in which way we will be able to generate this. Now here the data is slightly longer than this particular column. In that case, we can go and open the symbol and edit it according to our needs as well. Okay. So this is how we will be going ahead with this particular manufacturing part associate options that are available. We have added or inserted the connector, and we were able to add a dynamic connector table into this. Now suppose if I have been completed with this particular step and I just want to take a PDF of it and show it to my particular colleague, so who's not in this particular site, he's in a different site, so he just wants to take a look at this, he does not have SolidWorks Electrical. So in that case, we can just export it as a PDF file, where we have a new feature called structure, where we will be able to segregate the PDF creation by project, by book, or by page. So this will allow us. So if I select page, we have the option to choose what type of page. If we select the book, those types of options are going to be available. You can see here. Okay, so right now we will choose it as a project. Now, apart from that, while I'm changing, you can see the folder name, file name, all those details are available. You want to create bookmarks and hyperlinks, you can choose that. And paper format, in which way you want to have it. We have an option for portrait and landscape, or we can choose automatic also, which will allow us to orient according to our need. So right now we have done all of this. Now, what we need to do is we need to set a target folder. So right now I'll just choose my desktop as the target folder and I'll just say export. So update all the drawings and reports once you're trying to export it out of the software, and it will take a few seconds to communicate with this particular software. So electrical 2D is run by SQL. Okay, so SQL database. So in this SQL database, it has to go and communicate with the data and fetch the data according to the template, as you can see here. So the template remains the same, and you can see if I want to go to page number 3, I can use that hyperlink here as well. And you can see this is what it will look like. Now, bill of materials is available here. We'll come back to that towards the end of the presentation. So now I just wanted to understand that you can create such lists that are already fed in the system and coded into it as well. So there are some pre-existing codes. So you can choose any one of the codes based on their description, and we will be able to identify it and we will be able to add and generate it. Okay, so PDF creation has become a lot more efficient with the help of this added advantage of the structure. Okay, so till here what we have seen is we were able to identify that the PDF structure, the enhancements and all of that. But what if we are looking into something old? So right now we saw all the what is new features. Now let's say if I add some terminals here. So if I want to add some terminals, so just for example purpose, so if I just place it like this, it will take that terminals and it will create it like this, and I can create my own drawing terminal strip as well, and in that I can create my own subfolder for specifically terminals, and you can generate it automatically in this. So now in this terminals, you can see here, it is going to appear like this. It is automatically created. It fetches this information from SQL database based on the X1 data, the origin data, that the destination data, all of that information is available here. Okay, so this is what we will be able to do here. Okay, now in case of reports as well, so we have the option to identify what type of report we want. We have an additional source of different types of bills of materials. You can see here which one is more applicable to your company. You can choose that, and in that also we can go and change anything if we want. So let's say reference should not be available here and it should go to the end. So in that case, you can just move it around as well. So all such options are available for us. Okay. So once this has been completed, so in this 2D, 3D scenario, you can see wires are available. These wires have their own wire properties. You can see here. So the name is available, numbering group is available, which group it's coming from, what type of wire it is. We have different sets of types of wires, which we'll cover towards the end of the presentation as well, where you can see the color, type of the wire, width of the wire, equipotential, formulas. So wire formulas of ferruling, I think you will be familiar with. So each wire you draw, it should have some ferrule attached to it, correct? So that is what we will be able to calculate here and set it as an automated way, and we will be able to fetch whatever automated way you want. So right, like let's assume that you have two clients and you have two different types of numberings to be followed. So you can save both the types of codes that are readily available or modifiable, and you can keep it ready. Which one you want to use, you can use it and you can go ahead. Same way we have for cabling diameter, we have section gauge, and then we have wire color standard. So bend radius factor, bend radius, the formula, you can see 2.5. If I just give it here as 1, automatically the bend radius, it is updated. So if it is remains as 0, it will take as 0, but it will not go for a 0 bend radius, because that is not ideally that would be right, but it is not correct technically. So if you can give some value, whatever that is premeditated by your uh, design, so you can go ahead with that. Apart from that, we have voltage, frequency, description, extra information areas which can be utilized. So each and every item in SolidWorks Electrical has its own properties, has its own internal data if required. So if we want, we can use those and make use of our solution to the best. Okay. So here, once we were able to complete all of the connections, so we were able to connect all of this. Now, if I want to just integrate it into 3D, so we have a 3D assembly file that is already existing, as you can see according to the preview here, that I have opened in the SolidWorks Mechanical CAD. So SolidWorks Mechanical CAD hosts an electrical add-in which will only be active if the SolidWorks CAD and the electrical 2D is both available. Without both of these softwares, SolidWorks Electrical 3D will not be working, because the 3D helps the software to do the support, and the 2D helps the software Electrical 3D to get the information from 2D. So the integration, as we discussed during the polls, the integration that we do in this particular software, it is done via the SQL database. Okay. So in the SQL database, you can go and you can choose which one you want. Now here, what we want to do here in 3D. So this is an assembly file that is already opened by the SolidWorks Electrical 3D. So you can see the mechanical assembly design feature manager design tree also. Apart from that, in the central zone, we have our assembly as well. So now I want a view of a P1 connector. So if I just want to go for that view, I can just go here and say P1 connector. So this is how it will be available here. So you can go and search for such particular components. Now here, in case of this particular data, so I want to insert this particular part. So in that case, I can just go and search for some part, and I can choose and I can place it here. Or if I want to browse for a particular configuration of some component, I can go and do that as well. Okay. So each of the changes that we do in our software, right? So everything will be available in our design. Okay. So each component, so P1, P2, P3, everything will be available. And not only that, we will be able to view them as well. Okay. So now in this particular data, so if I just want to take a look at where this connector is. So if I just take a look at this connector, open this connector, so the functionality that can be done here, this is a cable drawing. So if here I want to change any path or in any sketch I want to edit, I can do that. And here you can see the type of properties that are available for a cable. So what is the route type? What is the subtype? Any reverse direction, reverse in the direction should be there or not? So we have such options available here already. We can come here and we can change it. But what's new in this particular design is if there is a connector, at some point in time, if there is a connector where we will be able to just go ahead and understand and place it. So just for a second, just a second. So what we can do is we will be able to take a look at our model. In this model, we are able to identify what is the changes that are being happening here. So what are the changes? So we want to go ahead and make the changes of some connector. So in that case, we will be able to do so as well. Okay. So here, what I want to showcase is there are some already existing mechanical parts. So I want to just see where all the different types of parts are available. So you can see here is one part, this connector. So now if I want to take a view of this connector, I can go for that as well. So these are some data. So this is an imported file. So you can see this is how it is going to appear. So if in case if it has some particular data that is there, we will be able to identify it. Same way, let's just open this file also and we'll be able to view it. Okay. So any C points that are there, those are editable in a tabular format in SolidWorks Electrical as of now. So for example, if we have to open any assembly file, just for example, under routing, so just a connector I've been using here. So this is going to come, it's a single connector. So it is going to come like this. And in this, I will be able to go and I will be able to view and edit the connection point parameters where each C point will be listed out. So right now we have only one C point and the pin number is missing in this. So if we want, we can give that pin number available here and we'll be able to generate it. So like that, we will be able to change for each and every type of connector that is available in the system. Okay. So in this particular design, so I have a particular component missing. So P1 component is missing right now. So if you want to insert, you can go and insert. But what I want to showcase now is I want to showcase another feature called route wires. Route wires where earlier there used to be SolidWorks route, sketch route, splines, lines, tangency, all wires option was there, all component option was there, or you select the components. Okay. But now all wires and selected wires options are available where if you want, you can select the first few connection points or the wires that are existing and select them and try to route them. So what happens is we will be able to just go and get the data from the 2D. So why are we getting the data from the 2D? Because we are able to identify that, okay, in 2D, there is a connector and it has some connection point, and in that connection point, there is some wire running. So through that data only, the 3D electrical software is fetching the information and will do the wiring accordingly. So if in case we are going to be doing the wiring, you will have to make sure what type of wiring you're doing by choosing which type of wire that you're going to route. So now I have chosen a particular type of route that will be where the wires are going to generate as its own. And now you can see the communication happening. So the communication is happening between route wires, EWA, all of those wires are being generated. And once it is generated, you can see multiple places the wires are already available. So now in this availability, you can go and you can just take a look. So in this, we'll be able to identify that, okay, so there are some wires that are available here. And in this wire, if I just go and just check this, just hover here, you can check the color, you can just see which route it belongs to. That option is also available here. Okay, so now I just want to show with a different example, a different feature that is available in What's New. So let's go open that particular file. Okay. Now in this particular file, this is also a wise head, but in this, what we'll be doing is we'll be just taking a look at the wires that are available. So now earlier on in SolidWorks Electrical, what used to happen is it was difficult to find out where the wire is, which wire is running where. So this is a constant, requirement that was available. So where we were able to just identify, and we had to go back in 2D and identify whether it is the same and then understand it. But now we can go here and we can identify which wire it is coming. So how to do that is in the options, we will be able to go, and under display, we have to make sure that dynamic highlight from graphics view is available. So in that case, we can go and we can hover and we can get the data. So in this particular design, so you can see here, so just a second, you can see multiple wires running here. Okay. So now in this, we will be able to generate the wiring route like this. Not only this, I will be able to generate the routing design of the flat route. Okay. So why flat route is a big deal in SolidWorks Electrical or any electrical design for that matter is, you can see here, we have the option of open drawing. Now, if I go to open drawing option, so you can see here, the software has already been fed with all the details of how the connectors are supposed to be placed, but you can notice that the connector tables are also arranged accordingly. Now, if I want to add my own, column that I want to add here, so I'll just say column right, and under this we choose route property because we want to just see connected to connector. And here the software understands that I'm trying to make the change for this table. So only for this table, if I want, I can just click on no. But if I want the changes reflecting in all connectors, you can see this is where it is going to be available like this. So this is how quickly it will add, and everywhere else also you can see the same. Now we'll again try to add something new and we'll see how the reflection will happen. Route property, connector to connected to pin. So same as before, we'll just click on yes, and you can see this is what it will be available like. Okay, so this is something that we can expect. Okay, so we will be able to generate all of these designs according to we want this. Okay, so let's say if I want a custom data, so then I will be able to add it. Okay, so in this, not only this, I just want to show some extra columns as well, just for your information. So under route property, we have different types of property names. OD is outer diameter, any miscellaneous information, description, connected to pin, connected to connector, we have done color, part number, pin, plug, seal, signal name, strip wire length, terminal, and then wire name. So all of these are available. If you want, you can add it. If not, you can leave it as it is. Okay. Now, when it comes to SolidWorks Electrical, so all the functionalities that we do, it starts off with schematic as we discussed. So once it is done in the schematic, we then move ahead to the 3D. So that's what we have seen so far. So if I have to come back to our poll questions. So earlier on, we have seen which stage of electrical design we do, all of that. Now, how large are your typical electrical projects? That's something I want to understand, because what I'm showing here is a mid-scale one. So in that case, your doubts would be, if it is a mid-scale, how does it function? If it is a large scale, how does it function? So all of that we will be able to identify. So you can please vote, and so that I can get an idea as to how the range would be like. So we have the most votes on 20 to 100 schematics. So you don't have to worry about it being, cumbersome for the software, because we don't have any page limit or anything while creating schematics. So in that case, you don't have to worry about page limit or folder structure limit, because you can add n number of documents, n number of folders. All of that can be done here. Okay. So apart from that, I also want to understand which report you generate most frequently. I believe bill of materials would be highly rated here. But apart from that, terminal strip report, cable report, wire lists are also equally important. So all of such lists are already available in SolidWorks Electrical readily. If you want, you can modify the readily available code. And if you want to just add some extra changes, you can add those. So that can be done. Okay. So apart from that, how is your component and symbol library managed? Now here is where, having unique softwares like SolidWorks Electrical will help you take your designs from a standard level to a custom level. You will be able to, you can see the mostly voted ones are custom, a mix of custom. There is no structured library, we can help you out with that. Okay. So if it is a haphazardly placed, randomly you have placed, you can use our software, make it a more well organized way. You can filter and search for it. It will be much easier to search for components. If it is not structured correctly, so what happens is we will be able to only go and search each and every component. If it is smaller library, you don't have to segregate it, but it wouldn't be the best practice, right? So if there is a mix of custom and standard components, we have the options for both. We have readily available standard components, and sometimes some standards, if they're not available, we will be able to go and access the electrical content portal also. So we will be able to download from there as well. Okay. So I'll just give you a view of that electrical content portal. So here we will see all over the world, globally, what are all the mainly downloaded catalogs. So we have Schneider Electric as the recently updated one, Siemens, Allen Bradley. So you can download such manufacturing parts, because without manufacturing parts, electrical cannot be integrated with 3D. We do not get the bill of materials, nothing happens. So this is the most important part. That's why we have a globally, the globally maintained by Dassault Systems. The site is available. You can go and download from there. Now, in that, if you download, you will be able to only download global components. Now, your next question should be what to do with local components. So in case of local components which are not available standardly, so in that case, you can create your own in the library as well. We have a create option that will allow us to go and create the particular data. Okay, so such things you can go and change. Okay, now till here what we have done is we were able to identify what is the new features in 2D, new features in 3D. And now I just want to go ahead with the presentation. So the presentation part I just want to get back into. So we have seen the electrical 2D, we have seen the electrical 3D schematics. So in 2D, we were able to identify the different types of developments. In 3D, we were able to see the different types of developments. So the first development under 2D we saw was assigning the accessory part. So association, how to do it. So on the right hand side, we can see the benefits. So second one, we saw PDF export, how the benefits are, you can quickly organize it. Manufacturing part, cable reference import, we have seen. Import allowed us to quickly add the data. Now, these are some 3D experience related updates. load and reload feature in 3D experience libraries. So if you're maintaining 3D experience libraries for SolidWorks Electrical, if any changes in data is available, you can load and reload very quickly, and it will be like a refresh and update. It will help us identify that. Saving local libraries to 3D experience also has become a lot more easier. And we also have a new role, SolidWorks Electrical 3D Augmented, which will allow us to have a 3D connection, two-way connection between the connectors. Now, next thing you can see, route wires property management enhancement. So it accelerated the 3D electrical workflows, and we were able to specifically choose the wires and do it. Okay, dynamic connector insertion. So we were able to add the dynamic connector and its connector table as well. And the last one that you can see is collaboration server enhancement. So collaborative server acts as a backbone of SolidWorks Electrical. Without that, it becomes slightly difficult. If there is an interruption, you will not be able to push data from 2D to 3D. So that particular server, they have done an enhancement in such a way that it boosts the IT security and compatible with the client machines. So earlier, what used to happen when they freshly released it in 2012 was the connection should be stable, all of that. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. So now it is a lot more easier, and no client side firewall changes will be seen here. So they're year by year, they're trying to improve it as much as possible. So project plan, like I told you, you will be able to first create a library components, then design the line diagram schematics, symbol association and manufacturing parts. So for beginners, this could be very useful. You can make a note of it. You can create locations and functions. You can create general arrangement automated diagrams, and you can also create SolidWorks assemblies, while you can do the 3D integration with electrical for the parts and for the electrical routing, automatic routings. So what else can we do in electrical is SPM design, general arrangement drawing, panel design, P&ID design, pneumatic design, hydraulic design, any 2D drafting design also can be done along with the harness types that I have showcased today. So any queries you have, you can just let me know over the particular chat. Any Q&A questions, anything like that? Okay. So if you do have any queries, or if at any point in time you do realize that, okay, there must be some doubt, or if you're interested in a detailed demonstration to understand the storyline of SolidWorks Electrical. So today I have showcased you the new features that are there in SolidWorks Electrical, but to understand what is the founding of the software, how does it work, what's the storyline of it, a detailed demo would be a great way to enhance the experience to understand SolidWorks Electrical. We have a feedback form for you guys to fill out. You can just take a look at the questions, and you can give us some feedback on how this particular solution would cater to you, and if it would cater to you, if it would not, or if anything that would be better for you, you can just go ahead and fill it out here. So I would like to thank one and all for attending this particular webinar, for spending your time of day with us to explore what's new in SolidWorks Electrical, so that you can learn more. Any new joinees who have not used SolidWorks Electrical, I would suggest you to request for a detailed demo so that we can meet and we can discuss further on how this particular module will be working. So anyone who's already using SolidWorks, again, if you want a detailed demonstration of the 2026 with your team, who if someone was not able to attend, so for that also we will be able to help you out. So our marketing team and I are always welcoming your queries or any interest you have in the solution. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. We really appreciate it, and looking forward to meeting you all in the future webinars. Meanwhile, if you have any queries, you can let me know. So, team, we would like to conclude this webinar. The feedback form will be reverting to your mails as well. So you can just go and respond there. Just, I think one query has come up. Let me just answer it. So while generating netlist of schematic, is there any provision to get feedback on simulation part? So netlist creation would be a part of PCB design, sir. So PCB design is not available in our module. So simulation of circuit is also not available. So we don't have that as a part of a package, because ours is more electrical design based, not electronic design based. So I hope that answers your question. Any other queries? You can let me know. Okay, team, concluding. I think there is another question. Just a minute. Yeah, the question reads, I mean to say the netlist in PCB design, in the electrical design, any checklist will be available. So we do have design rule checks that is catered to SolidWorks design only. So if we have any open-ended wires, we can check that. Any components that do not have manufacturing parts, we can check that. And any voltage drop in the wires, that we can check if the value is already input. So like that, we will be able to make the changes. I hope that answers your question, sir. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. If there are no other queries, we'll be concluding this webinar. Thanking you all once again for attending this and showing your interest and your feedback for our solution. If you have any requirement, we will cater our solution according to your needs. Please do reach out to us in case of any queries. Thank you so much all.